Okay, right now we're going to do Bubba N Stix from 1994, core design game. It's kind of a puzzle platformer, very cartoony. It's a cool game, but yeah, let's just move for a second here. And there's two very unique things about this game, and we will show you. First of all, is to do with the sprites. So let's take all the bit planes off, and those are all the sprites there. So it's very extensive. We'll take them off and go through one by one. There's just the copper gradient there, and then sprite 0 is part of Bubba and part of the score, part of the moon, and then you get more. You get in 15 colors, and as you expand it, you also get this little guy that goes across the screen. So that's all in his idle pose. But then if you duck down and do a move, you see his head's cut off. So he's actually uses all the sprites for his different animations. But let's keep going. Get more there. And then the stars, number 6 is just the stars in the sky. But the cool thing, the unique thing about this game, I think it's this game and Brian the Lion are the only two I can remember that have this trick. Is if you hit sprite 7, boom, you get all of these across the whole mountain range. Now, the interesting thing here is that usually in games that use sprites for backgrounds, they have to repeat. So it would be, it would be like the same little part and just repeated over and over again across the screen. But what they've been able to do here is because let's just show that sprite and none of the others. Sprite 7. Yeah, you'll see it is only, and then this is the gradient. So just watch the difference. It's got the blue gradient and then it's got the black. So it's only two colors. So instead of it being a 4-color sprite, it's only a 2-color sprite. So I learned this from Code Tapper's website. It was a great website. Check that out. Code Tapper Sprite Tricks. So when you only have two colors, there's enough time for the copper to reposition the sprites all the way across the screen and in a unique pattern because it doesn't repeat. So there's only enough time if it's two colors, there's not enough time if it's 4 colors to have it non-repeating. So Brian the Lion also did this. So yeah, it was an innovation 1994 there. So yeah, it's too bad they didn't realize that earlier, but better late than never. So yeah, that is very uh, unique about this game. And then the other thing that is very cool is you can see the parallax, right? Looks like it's got a whole bunch of parallax. Well, the thing is that I never knew about this until I read in Code Tapper. This is the only game I know of that does it. Um, there may be others, but this is the first I heard of it. Is that starts dual playfield, but it's only part of the screen, which is dual playfield. So uh, that has never been done to my knowledge. So sorry, we can take the sprites here, or the bit plane, sorry, and go bit plane 0, 2, and 4. I think it's easier if we don't have 4. Yeah, you can see his feet right along that line, right there. That is where it starts the dual playfield. So with the copper, you can do anything on the Amiga at any point, like on any scan line. So right on that scan line, they're breaking that into dual playfield. And so if you then switch the bit planes out and do 1, 3, and 5, and then you can see that. So the bottom there is in dual playfield. But then there's also a little part along the bottom that if you go to back to 0, 2, uh, and 4, then yeah, you see the little um, green on the bottom. So that is the background. Up here, the brown, but then the green goes into the switches priorities and goes into the foreground. So when you put all the bit planes together, then you have the part in the foreground going over the top over the part and sorry, the part in the background is going over the part in the foreground, which is this part, with the bigger trees, and then just these little trees are actually in the back, but they switch the priority to the front, so it looks like they're going over top of those. So it's quite complicated, but it looks really good, and yeah, was quite an innovation and quite shocking for me to learn that. So um, yeah, and this game is also it's at let's see if I move it up, should be at 50 frames per second. Yep. So it does all this and still stays at 50 frames per second, and yeah, looks really beautiful. Now that I don't think the copper block works. It looks like there's a few games where the copper block will not work. So unfortunately, this one corrupts it. Yeah, if you put the copper block on here, see, it corrupts the screen. So unfortunately, I can't show you that. It would be interesting to see because that's where it would show where the dual playfield split. Okay, and lastly, let's just try putting on the Blitter visualizer. And boom, look at that. Just like Fantasy Flyer AGA, it is blitting the whole screen in these little blocks. And look, the blits are going crazy. And if you put on the DMA stats, that here, let's move it up. Yeah, the blitter's going crazy. Look, it's almost maxed out. So I haven't been able to figure out why they do this. It would seem counterintuitive to be blitting so much like this, but it's still staying at 50 frames per second. So there must be a reason for it. I've asked a few people, but I haven't got an answer yet. So if anyone knows, I'd love to know what's going on because it's an interesting technique. But yeah, so this game, those three unique things with the non-repeating sprites and dual playfield partway down the screen, and then you also have this weird blitting of the whole screen. So yeah, very unique. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a shorter one, and until next time.